Today we are learning the subject of circuit theory, network analysis, or you may say the network theorem. Here, Professor Sumer. In this subject, we will learn the sixth chapter. The first chapter is related on the basic circuit analysis and the simplification techniques. In that, we will learn the basic concept which are related to the circuit analysis. We will learn the T and the pi network. Also, we will go through the KVL, KCL, Ohm's law, how the duality will work, what are what we can say the source transformation, and the most important is nothing but the network theorems. In the network theorem, we also learn about the superposition, the Thevenin's theorem, Norton's, and the maximum power transfer theorem. All these theorems are in your syllabus. Apart from this, various theorems are there, but this is in your syllabus. Now, second chapter we will learn about the frequency selective networks. In that we will go through the series resonance, parallel resonance, the analysis of the series and the parallel. We will calculate the various parameters with the help of the numerical. We will go through the comparison between the series as well as the parallel resonance. So the parameters we will calculate that are nothing but the bandwidth, selectivity, magnification factors, Q factors, likewise. The third chapter is on the electrical network parameters and the passive filters. In that we will go through the symmetry and asymmetry, T and the pi networks, along with your the passive filter, that is a low pass, high pass, band pass, stop band, with the various methods like your the M derived and the constant K. Along with that we will learn the attenuators of a various types, just like your the T and pi. Fourth chapter we will study about the steady state and the transient response. In that we will learn about the AC as well as the DC analysis, or you can say the AC DC responses of the circuit, which is related to the RL, RC, or RLC, the combination of the three components R, L, and C. Okay. The fifth chapter depend upon the two-port network parameters. So two-port networks, while you are going to apply the input and the output, how the network can be connected, and which are the things by which you can simplify the network transmission lines and other parameters. So that is possible with the help of the what we can say the two-port network. So here the various types of two-ports network are there: Z, Y, H, A, B, C, D. So here the Z, what is mean by the Z, Y, H, and the ABC, that we will see here. Apart from that, what is mean by the reciprocity, symmetry conditions, that we will learn. Along with that, we will go through the network functions with the poles and the zeros. Similarly, the last chapter, that is nothing but your the transmission line theory. So how we can what we can say draw the transmission line with considering the parameters at the input as well as the output, and entire the in between the input and the output, how the transmission lines along with your the circuitry can be connected by considering the components of RLCs, the conductance. Likewise, what is mean by the primary and the secondary, that we will observe. Even we will learn about the voltage standing wave ratio and the reflection coefficients. The main or important the content in this chapter is nothing but your the what we can say the Smith chart. So how we can simplify that Smith chart, how we can solve the Smith chart if we are going to consider the measuring the parameters in the transmission line. Now start with the introduction. The first chapter is the basic circuit analysis and the simplification techniques. So in this, the contents are what we can say the we will learn about the circuit topologies, the voltage, currents, and the power, the Kirchhoff's laws, voltage, what we can say the KCL as well as the KVL, the DC circuit, AC circuit, and the theorems. What is the purpose behind this learning this circuit theory? Network analysis is nothing but we should think about the power management. What are the how the power will be consumed if you are talking about the transmission line and the other thing, if we are building the networks and we are considering the input parameters and the output, at that time how the power can you can consume, and how you can manage that power with the help of applying the various techniques that we need to think about. And even the signals between the subsystems, so there are various stages at the input, at the middle. If the network is a cascaded, so definitely the input, output, and the middle, that is nothing but the cascaded form. So how the signals are passing, how the signal is divided in the system, that we need to think about, and which type of a data we are looking for, that is analog, digital, or the analog data types. What are the possibilities to get that data? Start with the first basic concept, that is nothing but the electrical laws. Already we know, we are aware from the Kirchhoff's current law, Ohm's law. We are aware from the Kirchhoff's voltage law, currents law, even the theorems, that is the super, maximum, and Norton's theorem. There are various, but chapter only the three fours are there. The basic terminologies are is nothing but your the electric circuit, electric network. The current is denoted by I and measured in the amperes. Voltage denoted by V, measured in volt. The power measured in the watt and denoted by P. What is mean by the electricity? This is the first word that comes in our mind while we are talking about the circuits. So electricity is a form of energy which is caused by the flow of tiny particles called as the electrons through a material. That already we are aware from the definition of the electricity, and you can observe with the figure how the proton and electrons are rotating, how the electrons are what we can say, the traveling, moving on the orbits. The electric charge. The definition is electricity is a flow of electric charge along a wire. This flow of electric charge is called as the current, and that is measured in the amperes. So if you think about this is just like your the pipe and how the water is flowing. So in which direction that water is flowing? I always used to tell the, you can take the example of a current is just like your the water, and even we are aware how the water is flow in which direction, whether the clock, whether the anti-clock, or in which direction, forward, reverse, whatever. So okay, so likewise how the electrons flows, okay, in which particular direction, so accordingly that what we can say, the charges are flowing in the what we can say along a wire. Okay, now if you are going to build a circuit, that time you should think about how I can build my circuit, how I can place my load, and how the supply uh, can be applied. So here the circuit is an electrical device that provides a path of a electricity to flow. So here we are considering the battery is here. You can observe here plus or minus is a one battery. Here is a switch one. This two dot indicating the switch is closed, and we are aware the current will start to flow in the circuit whenever the switch is closed. In the open circuit, there is no flow of current. So if the circuit is closed, definitely the current will start to flow. It's a depend upon the what we can say, the polarity of the voltage. Okay, accordingly the current will start to flow from negative to positive likewise, and it will go towards the load. Okay, and entirely after getting this one, it will be come back to its original position. Okay, so likewise in short we can say the current is flows in a closed path. The symbolic representation is here. If you observe, this is the cell, lamp, switch, and the wires. So this is the circuitry, and this you can observe with the help of the components. Here the connectivity is there. Here the two switches are there, one switch, one lamp, and the what we can say the cell is there. Okay, this is the switch, here is the lamp, and here is the cell of positive and negative is applied. And in this way if you observe, you will be able to observe all the whole circuitry is a closed path. If you are starting from here, this is the cell, here representation of cell, here is the switch, here is the switch, and this one is nothing but the lamp. So this is the basic symbolic representation how the circuit can be complete with this what we can say, the supply voltage with the help of the load and the switch. So switch is act as here open and close switch. So accordingly we can say the circuitry is open, there is no current will flow in the circuit. If the circuit is closed, switch is closed, definitely the flow of amount in the closed path and the current will be start to flow. The few basic units are present which is widely used in the while you are simplifying the numericals. So the T symbol is representing, that is a tera, that is 10 to the power 12. G is a giga, 10 to the power 9. M is a mega, 10 to the power 6. K is a kilo, 10 to the power 3. Likewise the what we can say the centimeter, millimeter, micro, nano and the pico. If all are in the minus, that time you can start with the centimeter, millimeter, micro, nano and the what we can say the pico. So network circuit elements are here presentation, how that circuit elements or the network element can be classified in the two major categories, that is nothing but your the active elements, other is nothing but your the passive elements. The sources are classified, further classification of the sources, that is a dependent and independent in terms of the voltage and the current, and even the practically and the ideal cases. So similarly the passive will be the RLC components. So here definition of the active passive along with your the examples are mentioned here. If the amount of the power delivered to the elements which represents the electric circuit is of active elements, and the examples are voltage sources and the current sources. Similarly the passive, the elements which cannot be delivered the power is nothing but the passive element, that is the RLCs. Similarly the elements and the non-linear, the elements at a which shows the linear relationship between the voltage and the currents. So RLC is one of the example. Non-linear elements are those who do not show a linear relationship between the voltage and the currents. So here elements and the unilateral is one of the characteristics. So here the bilateral in the two way, you can say in the both the directions, you can say. Okay, so that is R, L and C also shows the current flowing in this particular components are in the both the directions. Unidirectional only the one way, you can say. Similarly the active elements, that is the source independent and the dependent, these are the examples, that is a voltage source and the current source in the form of ideal as well as the practical. Similarly in the dependent also. So the figure representation clearly that is mentioned here, the voltage source and the current is flowing in this direction plus or minus. So this the total voltage, load voltage or the total voltage, you can say plus or minus is here, the load voltage will be equals to your the source voltage, and this is the ideal case. Okay, this is the ideal case. The voltage versus current characteristics is shown here. Similarly if there is a load, just like your the R is there, we are considering as a load, or you can say the source resistor, you may say. So at the time source voltage and the source resistance, so definitely total voltage will be equals to V is equals to IR form, but this VL will be equals to source voltage minus of IR. So likewise if you are taking the any kind of load or something is internal resistances are there, that time you will never get the ideal cases. In that you will be able to observe there will be the change in the idea from the ideal case. So that is nothing but the practical cases. So this is the characteristics of a voltage and the current. In the independent of current and current sources, so again the ideal and the practical cases, so you will able to observe this is the constant characteristics you are getting here. You are not getting the constant ideal case, this is the practical one. If you are without any internal resistances or the load, you will be able to find the ideal case. If there is internal resistance or any kind of load, at that time you will be able to find that practical case. So see here the Is is the source current, the this is the total current, and plus or minus V maybe many in the many of the textbook VL will be there. Okay, or you can say the total voltage. Dependent sources are nothing but the there are various kinds of dependent sources, that is a voltage dependent voltage source, current dependent voltage source, voltage dependent current source, and the current dependent voltage source. In many of the textbook they are referring instead of the dependent the word controlled. Okay, voltage control voltage source, current control voltage source, voltage control current source, and the current control current source. Likewise, so in short you can say the controlling is there in that. If you are talking about the dependent, that is nothing but the controlling the sources. Here the few examples are clearly mentioned how the things are going on. The voltage control voltage source. See here, the voltage control voltage source. Here, the input voltage plus or minus V1 is controlling, and okay. So here we will able to observe. So G is the conductance. You can say here the voltage gain and the current gain we can calculate easily. So these are the things in the voltage form. Okay, these are the figures in the current forms. Clear? So see here, current control is also here, current control is here, voltage control is here, voltage control is here. So if you are talking about the voltage control, definitely the input will be the voltages, and the further part will be depend. If voltage control, again here the voltage, here the current. So definitely by looking the direction, you can observe the voltage is controlling that current sources. Similarly here, this is the current, here the current and the voltage, here is the voltage and the current, here the voltage and the voltages. Likewise, you can understand easily this voltage source, this side is the input side and this side is the output side, you can say. So voltage control voltage source. So here the input voltages that are going to control the output voltage sources. So the passive element RLC, the physical way, the representation of a figure of your the passive elements RLC. So the register, how the simple register is connected here, internal registers, the current is start to flow in the register and the potential is applied plus or minus V. So how we can calculate the voltage? So we are aware from the Ohm's law, V is directly proportional to I. To avoid that constant proportionality, V is equals to IR. Here the P, the power of a three, what we can say formulas are there. P is equals to VI, P is equals to I square R, and P is equals to V by R, you can say. So here in this way the register inductor is also the inductor representation, how the potential across this inductor, how much amount of the current is flowing L into di by dt. Likewise, so we can find the voltage across L, we can find the current flowing through the L, and we can find the power consumed by the inductor. Similarly for the capacitor also, how much the current amount is flowing through the charging and discharging going on through this capacitor voltage across this capacitor, like this. The Kirchhoff current and the voltage loss, so incoming and the outgoing currents are equals. So this is the case here, that is incoming current is equals to outgoing current, or the summation of all currents are equals to 0. So in the Kirchhoff's voltage law also, summation of all the voltages across the components, summation of all, it will be equals to 0. So you will be able to observe here that is V1, V2 and the total source voltage. So the division principle, there are very important topic, that is nothing but the current division principle and the voltage division principle. The current division is applicable in the parallel circuitry, whereas voltage division is useful in the series circuitry. So division is applicable in the series. So by looking observing the circuitry, you can be able to observe how the voltage can be divided in each and every components. So type of circuit connection, that is the series and the parallel connections. The continuity of the currents will be there, so that is nothing but the series connection. Potential is right across that, various loads are connected, and how the amount of a current is flowing continuously. There is no division of a current here, only the potential across each one will be different. Similarly in the parallel, the current will be divided, okay, in each and every load, you can say, the or the component, you can say the potential will be the same for all the components. So we have studied about the basic concept related to the circuit theory or the network analysis. Thank you so much.